Right now we're gonna go meet Mr. Joule Sullivan, aka the Sartorial Shooter, aka Mr. Andrew Tate's friend. He owns a custom clothing shop. We're gonna go try out some of his wares. We're gonna interview him, so stay tuned. Guys, today we're here with Mr. Joule Sullivan, aka the Sartorial Shooter. So, Mr. Joule, what do you do for a living?
I sell clothes, brother. Nice and simple. I'm a simple man.
Simple man, nice. And how much do you make per year doing this?
Doing this, I'm not even sure how much this place makes, bro. This is more of a passion project. In terms of how much I make with my other businesses, I'd say a good month is closer towards $1 million than it is towards zero in dollar terms. So,
Mashallah, that's great. And what are your top 3 investments?
I'm a big believer in property in Dubai. I think all roads lead to Dubai. I think the world's figured that out yet. Some people are still on the fence, but if you want a societal model that works, a place to raise your family, a place to be safe, a place where the government actually wants you to win, not just be a good slave and stay, nice. Heavily taxed and oppressed, essentially like the West. I think Dubai is the only play. And any effort that you put into building up relationships, building up businesses, getting on the grid here in Dubai will return better ROI than doing so anywhere else in the world. Dubai is the place to be. So a big believer in property here. Also pretty active in the crypto space. I don't pretend to know much about it in terms of the technical side, but I have friends who are, pretty capable in that realm.
Okay.
So I've been investing in crypto since, I'd say, 2017.
Okay, awesome.
And also, I don't know whether you call it investments, but I probably have more watches and cars than I should. Some of them appreciate, to be fair.
As long as the watches appreciate in value, right? They're considered investments.
In theory, they beat inflation, but I'm fortunate enough to have good relationships with the AD, so I get my watches from Rolex direct.
Okay, awesome. And for crypto, what are your top cryptos you're investing in?
Oh, bro, that'd be a long conversation, man.
If you had to just name 3 off the bat.
Okay, so I'm a big believer in a project called WeWay, WWY. Gone hard in that as well. I was also a seed investor in something that's working out pretty well called PropChain. PropC is the ticker there. And also just the fundamentals, man. Bitcoin, ETH, keep it simple.
Nice,
buy it, leave it there. That's the game.
Okay, awesome. And advice for someone watching?
Oh, all right. Well, I'll give advice to, I suppose...
Short and simple advice if you wanted to.
Oh, it's pretty broad, man. Advice to who and advice on what?
So, advice for someone that's trying to attain success.
Okay.
What would you give them? If they were
in the Dunya or Akhira? Huh? In the Dunya or in Akhira?
No, here.
Here in the physical world. Look, I think there's a lot of advice out there as to what to do and how to hustle. I know that a lot of people looking to get started would do well to sign up to the real world. Amazing amount of, the amount of people who come to the store and say, I'm making good money now thanks to the real world. I've learned this and this. I'm more disciplined. So that platform is incredible. It's only $50 a month. So I definitely give that a shout out for somewhere to start.
Nice.
But I think also my background's in risk. A lot of the time people think about what are all the things I can do to get money? What are the things you can do to avoid mistakes? Consider risk. And where most young men mess up is the lower brain controls the upper brain. Use that testosterone, that fuel you have to go and chase girls. Chase success instead. Channel that into disciplined decisions daily, fitness, success. Don't just be the, partying has very low ROI, if not zero. Chasing women, very low ROI as a young man. Take that energy, focus on something productive. Specialize in things, build brotherhood, build networks. Don't let the lower brain derail your path to success. It's a real risk that a lot of young men fall for.
Use that energy towards something more positive.
100%.
Better, I like that. Better ROI, better return on investment. Now, Brother Joule, what attracted you to Islam and to revert?
Well, I first had someone do dawah to me in 2004 when I was learning Middle Eastern languages back in army days. I first came to the Middle East 2004, 2007, sort of moved over here full time. So I've been around Islam all that time. And I think at the end of the day, any masculine man who believes in traditional values and is concerned about the downfall of Western society and wants to keep his family and indeed his own mind safe, it's inevitable you end up with Islam. If you look at the chessboard of life logically, you cannot choose Islam. It's that simple. And I think that's why we see more and more, especially men with traditional values who want to protect their family, want to live in a healthy way, to have morals, they gravitate towards Islam because it's all written. The way to live correctly is written. It's clear, Quran, it's true. Yeah. It's the amount of detail as to how a man should best live out his days as a father, as a businessman, as a husband, as all these different things. It's written. And so I think every man who wants to avoid Western degeneracy is going to end up in Islam.
The Quran is literally the principles of life.
100%. It's the manual on how to live as a human. It's written. It's written 1400 years ago. And the insights and the guidance in this that were written 1400 years ago are so relevant to today. It's it's a miracle. It is amazing how something written all those years ago, alhamdulillah, is so relevant and so useful for navigating today's world.
Okay, proper. I like that answer. Now, you're in the business of clothing. Now, many people would say clothes are a waste of money. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I agree. If you're buying brands, I think it's a complete waste of money. Like people kicking around with Gucci, you're not the Gucci family. Why are you wearing the Gucci logo? So I think, look, if you blindly chase brands, then you're getting played. The profit markup of that T-shirt that has Philip Klein on it is 50x. It's just a T-shirt, friends. You know what I mean? Whereas if you spend money on quality fabrics, hey guys, within a sec, on quality tailoring, if you put the time in to have multiple fittings and to educate yourself as the classic way to dress, and how to show refinement and class through good fit, through good quality, that to me it has huge ROI, professionally, personally, everything. So yeah, clothing can be a massive waste of money if you're just chasing big brands and buying without taste and refinement and education. But if you learn how to dress well in a classic sense, if you get a good relationship with a tailor, such as this one, I think the ROI is huge.
Exactly.
In business, in personal life, in dating and everything.
Yeah, honestly, like some people look, if they just buy the basic clothes, like basic pants, nice fitted shirt, and you can buy that for less than $20 on Amazon, versus when you're just wearing like a Gucci brand promoting it for someone else. Right?
Brother, if you came in here with Gucci all over you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. you dress like a professional, you're carrying yourself properly.
Exactly.
That to me is, I mean, look, I understand a lot of people want to flex on the gram and so on, but there is a real world. And in the real world, especially in big money circles, they like to see you dressed like an adult, like someone with a bit of refinement. So it's, call me old fashioned.
I mean, the judging a book by a cover, it's real, right?
100%. We live in a superficial world, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
When you walk in the room, people judge you. Why not project social status, class, refinement, taste without saying a word?
Facts. All right, cool. Now, how can, in your own words, how can someone escape the matrix?
I think you need to guard your belief systems. Okay, you're going to get programmed either way. It's going to be either through culture or through the people who are around you, or it can be faith if you choose that. It can be through consuming certain books that are useful for you and so on. So guard what goes into your mind. Be careful of the programming, because either way you're going to get programmed. So have the right people around you. The brotherhood thing is key. I think faith is absolutely essential. And then essentially specialize in an area that's useful and work harder than everybody. Like, alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. I'm financially independent at 41. But genuinely, I think I've worked multiple lifetimes more than most people double my age. There were years there where all I did was work. 4 hours sleep a night for years. Health issues, all sorts of things. War zones all around the world. My 21st birthday was on patrol between East and West Timor. Well, you're meant to be partying then, right? My 30th birthday, I was in Iraq. Like I've sacrificed and I've worked longer and harder than the vast majority of people I know. That's why I've attained success.
All you've known is struggle.
Just work. I mean, I've also been very blessed as well. But the idea that there's some trick or some hack, specialize in something that's useful for society and just work harder than everybody. One thing I learned from Tate, people aren't really trying. When I met Tate, I had one corporate job and one side hustle. Within a few years, I had many different businesses, many different hustles, constant work. At one point when I was living with Tate, I trained 5 times in a day without noticing. Because he's at that frequency of human. Yeah. And everyone walking around thinking that they're working hard and, I need a break. What break? I need to rest. What rest? Yeah. You're not even trying. That's something I learned from Tate. So you get yourself the right sort of guys around you who are all of that frequency. Your output's going to be up there fitness-wise, money-wise. Get the right men or the right tribe around you and just work harder than everyone else. The money will come. That's how you escape the matrix.
Straight shooter. What are your thoughts on having a friend that's not hustling or grinding like you?
Are they a friend or are they an anchor on your development? Do we have friends because they make us feel good as men? No, we're logical creatures. We're designed for conquest. Yeah. If your man is, if the men around you are not helping you conquer, they're not really a friend. That's the way I'd view it. And in upper society as well, there's something what I call the value economy. You're not friends with someone because they tell good jokes. They can add value to you, you can add value to them.
So what do you bring to the table?
People are useful, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yeah. Every one of my brothers, my inner circle, is incredibly capable, globally capable in their areas. Yeah. And so am I, and that's why we are friends. We don't hang out because we like the same movies. So yeah, if someone's not on your level, they are a risk, and productively, respectfully tell them, you need to change X and Y about your conduct on a daily basis, or we're not going to associate together.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about having the same goals, mindset, or just 100%. Trying to be better every day, right?
100%. And if you want to do charity, go and give money to orphans. Don't do charity to some guy who's in your social circles who's a bit lazy. No, he needs to change, or you need to distance. It's that simple.
Facts. Now, with all the distractions in the world, we have many things. We have these OnlyFans girls, we have porn. You know, we have a lot of degeneracy. So how can someone like a young man like me or even younger avoid all these distractions in the world and attain success, in your own words?
I think ideally you keep yourself so busy that you don't have time for the haram. If your life is so full of halal goodness, whether that's training with brothers, that's building businesses, that's learning, that's specializing, that's traveling around the world on amazing adventures, that's raising kids, that's having, long, fulfilling relationships, which take a lot of work. It's a lot of work to be a good husband, a good father. You won't have time for that sort of nonsense. Make your life so full of halal goodness that every moment you have allocated to something productive, you won't have time for the haram.
Yeah.
The haram won't even be a temptation because you do not have time because you're doing more important things.
So distracted doing positive things,
100%.
productive things. Awesome. Now, do you think having a degree nowadays is worth it?
I mean, look, I have multiple degrees, including a master's degree. It was useful for me in that in the corporate world at a certain level, you need that sort of permission slip. Did I learn something from getting the master's which actually helped my career in risk and crisis management and security around the world? No. It was just to jump through the hoops, get the bit of paper. All right, now you can get certain jobs. So I think it's useful if you do want to become an employee. But why would you want to become an employee, really?
Yeah.
If you have the option to build something that's yours, to employ your friends, your family, to build a team that win together, why would you be at the mercy of some large corporate? And all of a sudden there's downsizing and maybe you get like...
Well, a lot of people are getting laid off right now, especially in Canada.
I believe it. And also it's written that it's sunnah to try and be an independent trader. Within our faith, you are encouraged to build your own businesses. Now, if a degree will help you with that, okay, fine. I don't think most of them do. If you're going to be a doctor, all right, cool. If you're going to be a lawyer, all right, I get it. But the vast majority of degrees out there, I think it's just part of the hoops to jump through if you're going to be a good
What's your opinion
slave
on a
citizen.
philosophy degree or a psychology degree?
I mean, look, if you've got someone who can pay for it, why you got nothing else to do? No, I think the real value is learned from doing and from being around people who are building and people who are already there. I'd try and get a mentor a lot faster than I'd try and get a degree.
Okay, awesome. Now, you're very close to Andrew and Tristan Tate, the Tate brothers. Do you know, can you give us an insight on what are they investing in?
Oh, I think it'd be easier to say what they're not investing in, brother. I mean, look, they're big in the crypto space and have been for years. They've made certain moves in the crypto space when the whole market was like, no, crypto's dead, and they went in hard. So they've made really big moves with crypto. I know they've made big moves in property. I know they've got a lot of cars. So, yeah, I mean,
Is there like a stock or a company Andrew or Tristan's invested in?
I know that they're big supporters on Rumble. They're on Rumble and they believe in Rumble.
Rumble stock?
Yeah, I think that'd be the sort of normie pick there. But also, I know that the brothers are such that every day they're putting in max effort to bringing money in, and I mean, I think they're investing in just about everything that makes sense.
Everything that makes sense.
From metals to stocks, as I understand it, they're in everything, because they can.
Yeah, no point of saving money. It doesn't make any sense.
No, there's that's not the approach. Brave, well thought out investment players is the way they do it. They make moves, they take risks, and they pay off in terms of investments.
Nice. Okay. Now, there was a lot of hate on Dubai recently with the flood. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so there was.
Because everyone was saying, no point of coming to Dubai. Oh, look at the flood.
They don't have to, brother. We're doing fine here. So the haters can stay broke and can stay in their dangerous, depressing societies. So there was 1 year's worth of rain in a day. What if that happened in London? The gangs would be out there looting houses. If it happened in the US, we saw it. Similar situation in Hurricane Katrina. Murders went through the roof.
Yeah.
There was no crime here after that. If anything, to me, I view those floods and the response as a flex, as a demonstration of what Dubai and the UAE represents. No crime, good government response, people working together. Yes, it was very difficult. Yes, there was some shocking scenes, but overall, as someone who has a little bit of experience in disaster management around the world, part of my job used to be to respond to things like earthquakes and tsunamis and so on. The response here was pretty great. And the fact that society stayed largely cohesive and that you didn't see any looting or crime, to me, it just proves, again, that this is the best societal model in the world. So anyone who wants to hate on Dubai, fine. Stay in your own country and we're going to continue to excel over here. That's easy.
Yeah, I saw how quickly everything was back to normal like within a day, Couple hours, actually.
I think some areas were more impacted, but overall, this city responded better than the vast majority of Western cities. So who are the people outside to criticize?
Yeah. Okay, last final question. How do you know Andrew and Tristan Tate? What was how did you become friends with them?
Okay, I think 2018, some chit chat on social media. I was looking for a contact. They introduced me to somebody in Romania. And then I said, guys, I want to say thank you. Come to one of my weapons and tactics facilities. We'll do some shooting. And in those 3-4 days of shooting, I realized that they were different mentally and physically in terms of their capability, and the insights that they were dropping as we, spoke each evening. At the end of the trip, I said, guys, the message you have is vital for humanity, especially for maintaining traditional values and masculinity. I'll do anything I can to support your message, and I stand by that today.
Okay, awesome. Anyways, thanks for the interview. You heard it from here, Mr. Joule Sullivan, Sartorial Shooter. Make sure you follow him on Instagram, and we'll see you guys next time.
Appreciate it, bro. Good
Man,
fun.
that was amazing, bro. Thanks.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate it.
I really appreciate